Yes, I'm super excited today. We're bringing our first ever section on the Nurturepreneur podcast. And our guest today is no other than Uzo Chukwu Umbamalu, one successful young man I met some years ago. I've watched him grow. I've seen him do things in a very unique way. And trust me, there's no better way to start this podcast than having him on board. Thank you, Uzo, for coming. Uzo Chukwu is the brand ambassador of cryptocurrency. You love cryptocurrency. Uzo Chukwu is a blockchain innovator and a builder. Is also the CEO of Palremit. Palremit is a company that's cut across global. They are into cryptocurrency. They do anything you have money, they buy your currency. They sell Bitcoin, they sell everything. He's doing so well. This company is thriving, and I'm so glad to have him on board. Uzo is going to be telling us how he has been able to manage the industry of money, how he's selling his services to people, and they trust him. So first of all, Uzo, start by introducing yourself to my audience. They want to hear, they want to know, they're excited. So who is Uzo Chukwu Umbamalu?
Yeah, I'm super grateful to be on the show, and I'm so grateful to share my story, and it's also a testament of your support, because you've been there from day one, supporting and guiding. And I think the whole idea of Naturepreneur, as it were, is to nurture entrepreneurs, just like you've actually done, with me, and also with your kids. So yeah, I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so excited to share what we do at Palremit. So essentially what we do at Palremit is, we facilitate currency exchange and remittances, and then we also help businesses that want to sort of do a collection of payment and also disbursement. So both global remittances and local transaction, we support all of those things at Palremit. So that's basically what we do at Palremit.
Okay. So how old is Palremit? Okay.
How
old is Palremit? How long have you been in business, and when did you start your business?
Yeah, so when it comes to building financial products, fintech products, it takes a lot of time. So we started building, 2 years ago, and we got our first raise last year, and that first raise was really helped us to be able to build a financial product that will enable for people to actually order for a physical card. So right now we have a partnership with a card provider that allows for users to you can order for a physical card, and then that card essentially allows you as an African to fund with your local currency and spend globally. So somebody from Nigeria, for instance, can actually fund with Naira and then travel to the US, without any brick and mortar broad exchange, and they can actually spend their local currency. And this card works in literally all the countries and MasterCard is supported in. So that's like 150 countries. So yeah, that's sort of one of the products that is really exciting. And we also have several products, that will be releasing. Like I also mentioned about businesses being able to collect payments, global payments, and also disburse payments. So we're building all of these financial products to help solve payment issues in Africa, and also create financial inclusion in the continent. So
awesome, perfect. That's a good one. So if I have your Palremit card today, I can shop anywhere in the world?
Absolutely. So that product will be released in a few months. Yeah, exactly. So the idea is, if you have the Palremit card, you can actually spend globally. Just like, if you have, I think the idea is we're trying to make Africans, as it were, to have the same banking infrastructure like people in the West do. Say somebody in the US, for instance, can actually spend with Bank of America card globally. But that's not the case for somebody living in Nigeria or somebody living in Uganda or Ethiopia, for instance. There's always a limitation in their card. I think it's actually because of a currency crisis in those regions. So we're leveraging the blockchain technology to solve this problem. And I'm really so excited about that solution. And I believe we will solve most of this problem in Africa.
Wow. Awesome, awesome. I'm so excited. This is beautiful. So you've been in the fintech and you're a young man, you are black, not just black, you're a Nigerian with a Nigerian passport.
True.
Have you been able
Exactly.
to earn trust? Because you're talking about numbers, you're talking about sales. The essence of this is to tell people, the audience, their strategies as to sales. So now, what your obstacles have you been able to go through the rejection or acceptance? What have you done in the course of the year? Because I know you are in Nigeria. You didn't tell us that, but I know that. So that's why I'm asking you. Have you been able to cover up? And I know you live in Dubai. So what have you done?
Yeah, so I'm Nigerian for sure, and I lived in Nigeria for several years until I started traveling about 4 years ago. And I think for me, one of the things that really helped out to have me build reputation, as it were, should I say trust level, as it were, the foundation of trust was actually displaying competence. So of course, I know so much about finance and fintech and the blockchain space, and I talk about it a lot on LinkedIn, and people see my competence, they see my level of knowledge, and then that was sort of the foundation of them trusting resources to me. And the little resources I was entrusted with at first, I judiciously used it. So I'm talking about fundraise. So we did our fundraise. The first fundraise we did was in 2022. That was last year, and it was like $200,000. And then we judiciously spent that money, getting card partnerships, and all of those things. And then our VCs were very surprised how we judiciously spent that money. And then they were like, "Hey, if we can give them XYZ amount, 200,000, and they spent it this way, we should give them way more." And then that's how we did our second raise. So for me, I think one of the things that really helped out was actually to display my competence, on social media, and then attract people that can actually support me. And then they supported me initially, and then I actually won their trust. I was actually executed based on the contract, and that was like the foundation for gaining more trust. And then that's sort of my story.
So basically, permit me to say, competence and trust are your sales tools here, because you showed yourself to be trustworthy. Hence, people invested in you, and you also show some level of competence because you deliver on time and judiciously. So people trusted you, and you are building more, and your business is expanding. Right? Did I put that right?
That's correct.
Did I put that right?
Absolutely. I think for
in this same contest with me and you, yes, in this same contest with me and you, I remembered 2015 when I met you. You came to my office, a young man. I don't know if you still remember the episodes, but there's something that got me with you. You were so ready to do the transaction. And by the grace of God, I allowed you, I gave you the opportunity, and trust me, you've not proven me otherwise since then. So what you're telling our audience today is, apart from you having a business idea or owning a brand or running a service or working for somebody, you need to have some level of trust and competence. So that is your sales strategy, is it?
Absolutely. So competence is
right,
one.
right? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, competence is very, very important. We talk a lot about reputation here, but the thing is, I think one of the building block of reputation is actually competence. So let's say you render a service, for instance, and if you're not very, very good at it, I mean, maybe you're a very good guy, by the way, or if you're not very good at it, at your job, how can you actually deliver, and how can you actually win the trust of people? So I mean, you need to be very competent, you need to be very good at what you do, and then that's how you can actually win the trust of people. So I think the foundation of reputation is actually, one of the foundations is actually competence. So yes, competence is actually essential when it comes to building and trust. So.
But Uzo, let me get this. I can separate the two. You can be competent, but yet you lack integrity. You don't think so?
That's true. So I said it's one of it's one of the foundations. So I think you can actually separate it too. So we have people that are very, very competent, but especially in the finance space, actually, you can be very, very competent. You know how to do accounting, as an accountant, but you are tricky. You know how to cook books. So you can actually cook the books
That's what
and
I'm saying.
do shady things. But the competence I'm talking here is related to actually people that has rendering services as to let's say you are a website designer, for instance. For you to actually win the trust of people, you need to be very good at your job, all right? And then if you deliver your job on time, that's how you build the foundation for more people to trust you. And I think that's sort of one of the foundations for reputation, as it were. So that's the perspective I'm talking about for competence. Yeah.
Awesome. So basically, you could own both and do so well in business. You can be competent and trustworthy, because integrity is so important in business. Like I tell people, it's a currency on its own. I remember you started your business with no capital. Is that right? I don't want to put words in you. So
yeah, that's very correct.
I remember when I did my first. Yeah. I remember when I did my first transaction with you. It was my money you were using.
True.
Yes, you made profit, but I did some measures. You actually started your business with no capital. So that kind of portrays that word I use. Integrity is a high currency. So a lot of people, they blow off the bridge. They do one transaction with you. They don't want to pay you back. They want to be tricky, and you expect the person to transact with you next time. It's not possible. When you want to build successful business sales and have a perfect sales strategy, you need to build a bridge, because you need people. If you blow off your bridge, that's on you. So I've watched you build a successful bridge. You are still building, and I see your business expanding. And I asked you one question which you didn't really give me the answer, and I want you to give me. Being a Nigerian is not being a Nigerian is not necessarily makes you a criminal. Yes, people perceive Nigerians to be tricky or something, but there are a lot of smart Nigerians out there, successful Nigerians out there. I tell people, if there's crime in Nigeria, there's crime all over the world. It's just that we're loud. So because we're loud, people tend to, it's in Nigeria, but trust me, Nigerians are smart. Yes, Nigerians are really smart. Yes. So there are prisons everywhere in the world, so people are doing some shady things. But integrity in this context, for me, is not about crime. You can lack integrity in a civil way. Yes? When you tell somebody, I'll meet you 10 a.m. and you get there 2 p.m. You lack integrity. It's another context. So does that really strive in business? Because we're here to nurture people that want to become entrepreneurs, people that want to be champions in whatever they're doing. Even if you're working for somebody, you're giving somebody your 9 to 5, yes, but you want to be excellent there. You want to be promoted every other time in the course of the month. So what do you have for them? Your take home for them. How did you get here? I know you've done competence, you've added integrity, you're smart, you're young, you're hungry, you keep doing more, you're breaking barriers. But what is your take home for them? How do you think they can succeed? Some people want to, they don't know the how to. Yes, they want to, they don't know the how to. What is your advice for them? How can they start a business? Yes, they have competence. Yes, they have integrity. Yes, they are willing, but they don't know how to. And there is no capital. How can they start based on what you have?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit difficult to start a business with no capital. But like you mentioned, integrity is a currency, and then there's this ideology of people's money. And that's how I started, by the way. And I'm so grateful that you actually trusted me. That's like the foundation of Uzo right here, because it also opened more doors for me, actually. So I think if you don't have any capital as it were, you want to start a business, you need to win the trust of one person. Somebody has to trust you with your resources. Sure. And then guess what? The person may not trust you with so much, which is normal, obviously. But if you're trusted with a little, you need to build with that, and then you need to show track record. Okay, hey, I've executed XYZ thing, or you gave me $1, for instance, and I, was able to trade with that, and I got even more. And then you need to actually display that competence to the world. So that's where social media comes in. So if you've achieved anything based on the trust, somebody trusted with a little, and then you achieve more, you need to broadcast it, tell the world, hey, this is what I did, and then it will attract more people to actually trust you. That's how you build the foundation of more people trusting you, and then before you know it, and the ripple effect, the snowball effect is going to be, it's going to start happening. So I think that should be a very good advice for anybody that don't have any capital to start with. So
Awesome. Because though a lot of people tend to give excuses because I should have, I could have, I would have. Those things don't solve no problem. It's getting to work and getting the job done. I'm so excited for you. The world is a global market. The world is a global market. There are opportunities everywhere, but people don't see it. Fear has made a lot of people to stay away from trying things. And now, having heard what you said, putting yourself out there on social media, putting up your nice profile, be true to your word, tell people what you've done, what you've achieved, and when people start trusting you, they will start recommending you. And guess what? The word of mouth recommendation is so key. Me recommending something to you, that guy is good. He's a good guy. We've done that over the years. So your friends, your family has become mine. My friends have become your customers, or they're using Palremit today, and we're still building. So word of mouth is so key. Relationship is so important to build those sales and get those numbers. Yes, people will always be people. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's not perfect, but this is just for the few that are hungry. Because the top is really spacious. We're only here to support those that are hungry and want to get to the top. Also, thank you so much for coming. But one take before you go. What is your network, Uzo? Please tell us. Palremit.
Okay, so the company Palremit itself, it's a multi-million dollars company for real, because we've raised, we've done several raises, and the way fundraise works is if you've raised, let's say your company is valued at, let's say, $10 million. And if you raise, it all depends on how much you want to raise. That will determine the valuation. So we've done several raises, and then our valuation is pretty within the millions. So yeah, that's the valuation of our company. So
awesome. Also coming for a young, unmarried, black Nigerian man from the eastern part of Nigeria. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. Keep the work going, keep the fire burning. I'm hopeful that we get more entrepreneurs in the building, and I'm so happy. And you've proven to me once again, when we use the word nurturepreneur, we don't nurture in vain. We've been in this course over the years. Just now we're bringing it to the social media to support other people. We've been here supporting people, telling them you can do it. We push you out of back. I remember. Tell me that story about how you told me when you came to my office. You told me you lost how much? I was laughing at you. What was that?
I lost 50,000 naira, right? And that was like all the money I had. And I was like, I'm done with this currency thing, like 100%. I can't do it anymore, because the guy I actually entrusted scammed me, and then you would laugh at me and like, come on. I was like, wow, like I think I just give up then. I don't think I'll be doing everything I'm doing today. So I remember vividly.
You told me you lost 50,000 naira, and I laughed at you because if you don't lose, you don't win. The person actually taught you a lesson. But next time you're going to be more careful to do better transactions. And look at today, you're running numbers in millions. We're not talking about the 50,000 anymore, is it? Because you refuse to stop. Stopping or giving up, it just kills the dream. It's okay to fall down, but learn to dust yourself, stand up, and keep walking. I'm so excited about this, and I'll see you at the top. Please feel free to give us more insights if you want us to incorporate anything to our brokers. We're here to learn. We're here to do all those things you guys want us to do. But keep tuning in, keep subscribing, follow us, subscribe. Tell people about us. We're just starting, but trust me, we're going somewhere, because this platform is for me and you. It's for the success of our people. I don't have so much money to give to anybody, but what I have is to bring people that have succeeded to tell us how they did it. If there's one or two lessons you can get from them, please get it and get going and use them. All their names, I keep calling their names here. You can look them up for their social media handles, on their LinkedIn profile, their YouTube profile and you can DM them and ask them questions. How did you do this? There must be something you like from somebody because everybody has their own story. We all have our own niche. We all have our own selling point. Nobody's an island. We all need each other to support. No matter how bad you think you are, you're still better than somebody. Don't just quit. Keep going because your story, the world is waiting to hear your story. Thank you guys for listening and thank you, Uzo.
Thank you so much.
Nice to have you. Looking for more episode and more time with you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Have a blessed day. Thanks.